Hey, how's it going everyone? Justin again. As always, thanks for watching my channel. Welcome to a product overview. This product overview is about the power steering adapter kit, the Mityvac MVA 670. We're going to talk about how much it costs. We're going to talk about how you hook it up to a car and put it in play. We're going to talk about some of the dual purposes that it has. Alright, that being said, let's roll right into it. First, let's take a look at the kit itself. Alright, now that you guys got a chance to see the pieces that it comes with, let's see how it goes onto the car. Alright, so what you do is, you take the kit, you find the adapter that closely resembles the one for your power steering fluid. For us, I think it's going to be the smaller one, but it could be the step-up style too. So we'll try the step-up style first. What you do is you unscrew the power steering reservoir cap, remove it like so. Yep, that's going to be the smaller one. On the big style cap, you place it over the top and it sets down there with the O-ring. Now what you do is you take your Mityvac, you hook it up to shop air, connect it to the top, and you start pulling a vacuum. What that does is it pulls the fluid down into the worm gear and into the rack and pinion, and it fills up the power steering lines, and it's pulling a vacuum, so it's sucking all that air out of the system and going into your Mityvac. If you don't have a Mityvac, you can use a vacuum pump too, one of those handheld ones, to pull a vacuum on it and just sit there and go like this. Once that's done, you pull it off, check the fluid level. Top off the fluid level, put your adapter back on, reapply a vacuum. Do that 2 to 3 times and this fluid level should be perfect. You're not going to get any whining or anything like that coming from the power steering system when you start the car, should you had to have replaced the rack and pinion, high side pressure line, or return line. Alright, now that you guys have seen that, you kind of get an idea of where I'm going with this. But basically, this power steering adapter kit is for those times that you replace rack and pinions, pressure lines, return lines. It's basically so that way you can pull a vacuum to get all the air out of the system. Have you ever replaced a rack and pinion or a power steering line or a power return line where all of a sudden you fill it back up with fluid and it starts whining as you're steering it from side to side? Maybe some old school tricks. They told you put it up on a lift, get it up, get the nose up in the air, steer the wheel from lock to lock several times, top off fluid several times, then start the car and do the same exact thing a couple of times until eventually all the whining goes away. The problem that you run into is if you do that to a remand rack and pinion, you risk the chance of damaging that worm gear, and then you're going to find yourself in a world of hurt because now you're going to have to warranty out that part, and you were the one that caused the problem because you didn't get all the air out of the system. That worm gear is moving around in there dry, completely dry, and it could be damaged in the process. So this kit is specifically designed to pull a vacuum on the system, get all that air out, push the fluid down to where it's filling up the lines, it's filling up that rack, and it makes it to where you have a clean start, no whine every time. I find it to be a really helpful kit. I paid $112.95 for this kit. That's through MATCO Tools. Maybe you don't have a MATCO tool vendor and you want to buy it online. You're more than welcome to. They're actually about half the cost. You could pick them up for $55 from Tool Topia. If you don't want to get it from Tool Topia, you could also buy the adapters individually for about $30 a piece from your local Napa store. The only downside is that Napa doesn't sell them in the store and you still have to order them online. But you can at least go in and get in the catalog and look at the catalog and see which adapters are going to work best for your specific vehicle and your specific manufacturer. Now they have one on here for GM, Ford, and they have a universal adapter. So you get 3 adapters in this kit from MATCO for 112 bucks. Overall, I think this is one of those critical tools that every technician should have inside of his toolbox, because you are going to run into situations where you are going to replace power steering lines or rack and pinions, and you're going to want to make sure that you're not damaging any of those components in the process. So very, very useful tool, very handy tool. I give it a 2 thumbs up. But if you want to save some money, go check out Tool Topia. They're $55 for the 3-piece kit, or again, you can buy them individually from Napa for about 30 bucks a piece. That's all I got for this video, guys. I hope it helped somebody out there to realize how they can actually get the whining completely alleviated from the system if you have to replace a component. And I hope it gave you some ideas of where you can buy a kit like this without having to spend $112 like I did. That's all I got for this video, guys. Cheers to those of you that have your beers, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your work week. See you next time.